Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and I'm a tricky devil.
And I'm Claire, and I... What?
Just watching the gears turn as you realize that that's a thing that we do, and you need, like watching it live happen.
I finished a puzzle.
Yay! And this is Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest
new video game ideas
that won't ever get made. That's right, folks. We don't develop, we design.
Yeah, and we design in a fun little mind space because we're not a studio.
Yeah.
We're a podcast studio. We're in the podcast studio.
We don't even play test.
We could cardboard test at a game. That'd
be fun.
No,
I mean, we could, yes.
But we don't.
Yeah. But we could. It could happen.
Anyway, on this show, we pitch each other video game ideas that we came up with. It's a surprise to the other person what it is. And then we just move on with our lives. So, Isaac, do you have a game idea?
Okay, woo. I was like, okay, I always pass it off to you first, but as you were talking, I was realizing it's because you never pass it on to me.
Yeah,
and so just to keep things moving forward is why I normally do.
I did it. I moved it to you. It's yours now.
Yeah. I'm excited about it because I was like, it didn't look like it was going to happen.
No, it happened. Look at that. It's yours. Go for it.
All right. Oh, hold on. Let me get my notes out.
Folks, he's got notes.
I don't think I need notes for this one because this is one that as I was writing these notes, I was like, I should play test this. Speaking of play testing, yeah, it's all coming full circle. So my game is... Yeah, I'll just call it this. Flags and Territories.
Ooh, it is a little what is it?
Strategical. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So it's a very, very, very simple strategy game. And it's to the point where the reason why I'm like, I should really playtest this or should have playtested this is because like the rules are simple enough where it might be like tic-tac-toe where it's just like solved. Like the first player always wins.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it might be like that there isn't much of a game, but I try to do something new. I try to do super simple, like could be a board game like style mechanics, which some would argue is antithetical to the idea of video games. And that's valid belief. That's my normal belief is if you could boil it down to a board game,
maybe don't make it a video game.
A video game?
Mm-hmm.
And there's,
then again, Monopoly
that's a discussion
is a video
topic.
Game, so.
Well, yeah, I think a video game adaptation of a board game is also different from like I'm designing a video game, but anyways, I'm getting way too much into like a potential discussion topic.
I'm writing it down for next week.
Okay, all right, cool. That takes care of that. So the idea is there is a map of like randomly generated territories. Mm-hmm. So it's never the same map twice, hopefully. Maybe sometimes it would be the same map twice. And there are different shapes with different adjacencies, like different borders and stuff. Each player starts with one flag. They start with a limited number of flags in their like hand. And every time it's their turn, they get to place one flag. They can place a flag in any neutral territory that's adjacent to one of their territories, or they can place it over a controlled enemy territory if it's adjacent to at least two of their territories.
Okay, this feels like a little bit... It does feel very board game. It feels very Settlers of Catan meets Ticket to Ride.
I have not played either of those two games.
Okay.
So it would be interesting if they did do my playtesting for me and these core mechanics do work.
Yeah, listener Megana knows Ticket to Ride, so she can weigh in. Email us, specifically you.
No, anyone can email us.
Yeah, anyone can email, makeThatGamePodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and then the other thing is when one of your flags is like replaced, like an enemy takes territory, your flag goes back to your hand.
Okay.
So the number of flags that you have and the size of the board are like the variables that you can mess with for like different experiences, I guess. Like if you have more flags, like the game will last longer And if there's larger territories, the game will last longer versus less territories. Like you really have to choose, or versus less flags, you really have to choose like each flag that you place very strategically, because the winner is, when the game ends, whoever has the most flags. And the 4 end conditions are time. So like limited number of turns. You could say, no matter what, this game is going to end after 20 turns, 100 turns, 1,000 turns, whatever you want. Or that's like the third, I guess, variable that you like set to determine like what this game is going to be. I guess number of players would also be a variable.
Oh, so you could do more than 1v1? That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. I see this could scale basically infinitely.
I feel like the more people, the more fun, because it'd be harder to like beat. It'd be harder to turn it into tic-tac-toe in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, okay, so win conditions or like game end conditions are a preset limit of turns. 1. 2, any player has no flags left to place. Game ends, whoever has the most territory wins. 3, any player doesn't have any territories themselves at all. Also, like a game end condition, and obviously they would then lose because there's no way to have less.
Because they lose.
And if all territories on the map are occupied, is the final like end condition.
Okay, and then in that sense, then you would count like how many flags, and whoever has the most would win.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So if there's 20 total territories, every player has 15 flags. Like the guy with 11 out of the 20, he wins. Yay. And so that's flags and territories.
Cool. I like it. I do think it feels very board game. I feel like it could be, well, the randomly generatedness makes it a little more difficult to be a board game.
Right.
So that's kind of where it becomes interesting.
What I would do with that,
yeah.
If I made this a board game, here's my little board game design step. I would take like tangrams or something else like that, and it would just be like, dump them on the table and then put them like all touching each other, and then that's your map. Just kind of like shift them
fun.
around.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely doable, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty like simple, fun idea.
Thank you. I'm just worried that, you know, it sounds simple, it sounds fun, but I'm worried that like after 5 minutes of playing, it's just like, oh.
Well, why don't you get some tangrams and we can play?
Okay, let's cardboard prototype.
Yeah, we'll make a video, put it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@makethatgame.
That would actually be good content. That would be so good.
That would be good content.
Playing, but that would be antithetical to we don't develop them, we just design them.
Well,
but okay. Playtesting is design more than development.
And we also don't say we don't develop them. We say we don't make them. To me, making a game is the whole thing.
That's true.
So you could develop it up to the point of publishing and be like, never mind.
Okay, true.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks for sharing your game.
And now I'm passing it on to you. Hit me with your game. Like, literally punch me with it. Like...
That's how I punch.
Yeah, the verbal punch. Nice.
I watched the musical Jekyll and Hyde from a very legal link this weekend, last week, recently.
Okay. Slime tutorial.
And I was thinking, what if it's Jekyll and Hyde but video game? And here's the thing. All I really have is a mechanic, but that's rare for me, but here's the mechanic. So I do imagine it being like third person, like Link. You always call this first person, but I don't think so. First person is when you see through their eyes. Third person is when you see their back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were on the same page. Okay. Yeah. Third person, and you play as Dr. Jekyll.
Okay.
Which I always thought, just like as a sidebar, growing up, like Jekyll sounds more evil than Hyde, but Jekyll's the nice one and Hyde is the evil one. I should say, I guess if people don't know the story, it's where a scientist named Dr. Jekyll, it's a very famous story. You probably know it.
It's a Barnes & Noble classic.
He makes a potion trying to like separate good and evil in a person and accidentally like splits his personality in two, and the other person is like Mr. Hyde. Anyway, but part of the plot is
in
that...
one body. They're in one body. Yeah.
Part of the plot is that he like loses control of the transformation. So initially... he only transforms when he takes the potion, but like eventually it just becomes like he'll transform at like random moments.
That's inconvenient.
Well, yeah, so that's where the mechanic popped into my
Whoa.
mind. So basically, you're going to play through that. And again, I don't have as much of like what you're actually doing, but basically you can do certain things as Dr. Jekyll and you can do certain things as Mr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do like a combination of these things to get through the game. And when you start the game, you can control the transformation. So you can decide like, I'm in this scenario, I want to be Mr. Hyde. I'm going to be Dr. Jekyll, et cetera, et cetera. But like as the game goes, it gets harder and harder. The transformations are more random and you'll have to like make concessions for like, oh, I was doing doctor stuff and then suddenly I became Mr. Hyde. Like, what am I going to do about that? So it's like almost a randomly generated transformation back and forth. And you have to manage like your both your task list and like, I don't know, I feel like there's a very real possibility you get murdered till, like you die like a regular game.
Yeah. There's like opponents to fight. Like, is this like literally like Jekyll and Hyde?
See, that's what I haven't fully...
just a character that transforms? Because this could also like you could be a werewolf character.
Well, and I kind of but like that's too much like Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah, fair.
Or like I like to call it Twi-Pri.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
No, I mean, but Twilight Princess, like it's like in the dark versus like it's a lot more predictable than what I'm describing. No, I do think it doesn't have to be Jekyll and Hyde because also like the story of Jekyll and Hyde doesn't really give a lot of like flavor to go on to like build.
Yeah, and there's not much of a difference between a guy and a guy that's evil. Like they don't really have that different of a skill set.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go werewolf though, just personally, but similar.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And then so I feel like in order to make like the random transformation anything gameplay wise. I think you'd have to have like when that starts happening, at least things would have to have like timers. Yeah. Like the level would have to be on a timer because like.
Well, I don't know. I want a more open world, but I think the transition's on a timer. So like the transition starts, you have a timer before it's complete so that you have time to like do something about it.
So I guess from my perspective, this is me like players. We talked about it a couple weeks back. Like players optimize the fun out of everything, and like players don't really make forgiving concessions. I, as a player, if I really wanted to do doctor stuff, when it became Hyde time, I would stand there until I was doctor again. I'd be like, okay, time to, I guess, go to the bathroom. So that's why I'm like, there needs to be some kind of like time component.
Well,
like,
you'd die.
Would you?
Yes.
Like, it depends on what you're doing.
I guess it depends on what you're doing, but most likely if someone saw like a guy transform into a beast, they'd kill you.
That's true. I'd get to a safe spot.
I guess. I mean, also like other stuff will continue on without you. Like you can't just sit and wait. Like those people won't be there anymore.
Oh, well, so then that's the timer stuff that I'm talking about.
I thought you meant like a timed level.
Well, that's what I was envisioning at first.
I think it's like it's Animal Crossing. Like sometimes people just aren't home.
I'm just thinking like, in a way, it's pretty similar to like at Minecraft, night is scary, monsters spawn. And like, yeah, you can sit there and like fight monsters at night, or you could use your bed and skip to day.
Okay, I hadn't really thought about people breaking it yet, to be quite honest.
See, that's a very important thing to think about with games.
I know, but now I'm kind of sad because I liked it.
I'm
I
sorry,
the
but so that's like the thing that I feel like I talk about it a lot on the podcast, and now this is your opportunity to really absorb it.
Well, okay, how about this? I'm going to give a challenge to myself.
Okay.
Instead of pitching a new game next episode.
Oh, you're going to come up with the mechanics
I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to flesh this out a little bit more. I'm going to see what I can add to this idea to make it a little less breakable and a little more fun.
I like this. This is the first time we've done anything like this.
It's the first time, but that's what I want to do because I thought this was a cool idea. And I want to give it legs.
I think that there's bones to it. It's just you got to figure out the way to give it a point. You got to force players to do what you want them to do sometimes.
Well, and that's game design. So I think this will be a good exercise.
Yeah.
To go back to the drawing board. So tune in next time for a revisit of this very game idea.
Woo!
Woo! All right. Well, now that we've done that, it is time to head into the discussion.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun just to talk about what our like number one important thing is in a game.
Okay.
And I think we've kind of touched on this like through discussions, but never as the discussion. So like,
yeah, like never had it as the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So like when you go into a game, like maybe
what are you
like
looking
top. We don't have to pick like one because I think that would be really
Let's
short.
do top three. Let's do top three.
What are you looking for? So
and like ranked.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's more fun if we're not necessarily drawing from the same pool. If we have different understandings.
Yeah.
Of things, like if I'm like, oh, there's only 5 categories, I'm gonna rate my top 3.
No, we're
and
just
you've
picking...
got like 45.
Yeah, we haven't made category lists yet, which I think is good. I think it'll be a better discussion.
Yeah. All right. So am I starting?
Why don't you go with your number one? We'll go back and forth.
Okay. Number one, when I am looking at like a game, if I'm looking at Steam, right? Yep. I'm watching the video. I'm looking at the
trailer,
layout, the trailer. Well, yeah.
Oh,
the store page, right?
Yeah.
I am trying to see what the unique mechanical selling point. Well, I guess I'm looking at 2 things.
Such a game designer.
I'm looking at drama or genre. Oops.
Drama.
No. Genre and the unique mechanical aspect within that genre. So like as a real example, so those are I guess my top 2. Yeah, top 2 cuz genre I guess is very important for me because I will specifically look at specific genre. How does anyone define genre?
It is tricky.
This is the question of the ages.
Because to me, with video games, there's 2 buckets that you could call genre. There could be like like horror, fantasy, blah blah blah, or there's like adventure, like story.
So
yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like there's like gameplay genre and there's like vibe genre.
So I would say because I am very I don't know whether this is like absolutist or purist or whatever, but in my mind, video games revolve around the mechanics.
Yeah.
Like that is what differentiates.
That is kind of the crux of the podcast. So right. I understand.
That's what differentiates a video game from a movie or a book or even a TV. Like all of these things do different things. Video games, the thing that sets it apart from any of those is it has mechanics. Therefore, when I'm thinking of genres of video games, that is like the collection of mechanics.
Yeah.
So like real-time strategy versus city builder.
For some reason, I couldn't think of anything else but adventure, but like that's what I was going for.
Whereas I see like fantasy, horror, sci-fi, well, those are genres in like movies, etc. I see those as more like themes in video games. So like I guess there are horror games which do have a like almost codified set of mechanics.
No, I mean I think I would agree with you.
Them.
I just was trying to like make sure I understood.
Yeah. So like I look for certain genres. There's certain genres that like don't interest me at all really. So. Then I look at like the unique mechanic with the genre because if it is just like a genre game, right? If it is here,
it's just Age of Empires, but with a different skin on it.
Right, exactly. If this is Age of Empires, but we've got if we've got elves instead of historical civilizations, you know, that's not really going to draw me in. I'm not going to be like, what's going on? But if they're like, it's Age of Empires and we have hero units like Warcraft 3. Then I go, okay, that's a real-time strategy RPG hybrid. Ooh, you've got something interesting going on.
Okay.
And then at that point, then that is when I start thinking about like the theme, I guess.
So theme would be 3 for you.
Yeah, theme would be the number one, the number 3 thing.
Yeah.
So number 1, look for the genre. I am interested in a certain kind of game. Yeah. I'm looking for those specific kinds of games. Number 2, I'm looking for that game to have a mechanical twist. And then number 3, usually I'm preferring that game to be fantasy themed rather than like sci-fi. But I will make exceptions. But
you're looking at that. That's the next thing you want to know.
A really good example of this is like Undertale. What fully sold me on Undertale, because it is an RPG. It's a very RPG. In like the opening, like the trailer video.
You call it a VRPG. Sorry.
Yeah. It said, make friends with every enemy or something like that.
Oh, okay. That would get me as
And
well.
I was like, okay, that is a unique twist on the RPG genre. And it also has like cool monsters and stuff instead of just being like normal, I guess, real world humans or something. I don't even know what else you would be. Like, it's just so like, if you're making an RPG and you don't have some kind of fantastical element to it, whether that be like sci-fi fantastical or fantasy fantastical, like non-real element, what are you even doing? Who just makes, oh yes, this is the office worker RPG.
I bet it's out there.
I bet it is, actually. Anyways, I've digressed too much. I just wanted to give a real example of, I was watching the trailer, those words popped up. I was like, woo, all in on Undertale.
Nice. All right. Well,
and so how about your top 3, Claire?
It's very different. Well, maybe not very, but that's definitely diverges. I will say first, I don't really browse games very much. Maybe I'll start.
You got to.
It's just people are like, you should play this. And I'm like, okay.
But surely you have some way of vetting.
Yes. And the first ever thing I look at is the camera and will it make me sick? Which I think is part of the mechanic, or at least the design.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I look at, I'll watch the trailer. If it's first person, I'm out. I'm already out. Like, goodbye. But I do have to watch any other game play just to see like how the camera moves. Because you can be surprised. Like, I mean, No Man's Sky is terrible for that reason. For me,
it's first person.
But also for some reason the menus also move really bad. Like,
why do No Man's Sky first person?
No, it's third person.
You can see the body?
You can see the body sometimes, yeah.
Only sometimes.
When you like are doing close up things, it's not. It's like goes back and forth.
It's when you're jetpacking, it's third person.
When you were fishing, it was also third person during that. We could watch the replay.
Why do I have played over 200 hours of No Man's Sky.
It's because you're so invested in it, you're so immersed that you're like, I'm doing it.
I mean, also it's probably partially that thing that I can't picture apples in my brain.
Yeah.
So
you can't remember what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing, like the menu in that game, like when you moved the mouse, the menu itself moved a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, so
parallax.
you have to be careful because even games that seem safe might not be. So that's what I'm looking for. And also within that would be the accessibility options. So like, for example, Lego games have options to like basically make that camera movement way less. And that helps me play. So if I see that as an option, I'm like, okay, this is like pretty good. I can go forward.
Would you say that's number 2 or like a sub part of 1?
I think it's a
like
sub part of 1
and 1A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then number 2, I'm looking for like art style.
Okay. All right.
Like, do I like what it looks like? Can I stare at this for hours?
Yes. For all video games, there's no video games that look bad.
No, I mean, it's not look bad. I don't want to make it sound like that, but like, I don't know. There are some things where I'm like, I don't know if I like the way it looks. Just this is very subjective. I don't even have a list, but sometimes I might be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those you'll know it when you see it kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, do I find this look good?
And then I would say my third one is story. So, like, what's the story they're telling? Am I interested in that story? What are they getting at?
Yeah.
What am I going to
like, where might this go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What emotions does it want to evoke?
Yeah.
And that would be
like,
mine.
Grease's trailer made it very clear that it was, like, a lonely, kind of sad game.
Mm-hmm.
GRIS.
And the art was beautiful.
Yeah, it's all, like, hand-drawn. Very
it's
nice.
Like, very watercolory. It's very pretty. Too bad the gameplay actually turned out to be a little bit thumbs down. But, I'd still recommend that game. I did a pretty good honk and bonk of it a while ago. But, yeah, to explain it in more detail, but it was too short is my...
Yeah, but you didn't even 100% it, so is it really too short?
Well, so it wasn't, I guess, not to go back to Grease, but it wasn't that it was too short. It was that It was basically designed to have to replay it, but because it is a puzzle-solving game, I had no motivation to replay it.
Oh, because you were like, I already solved this puzzle.
Right, but I'd have to go back and like do slightly different things to get all of the achievements. Yeah, anyway. So I just didn't like that part of the design. But I did like the game. I like the gameplay. Anyway. So yeah, different. Very different. I think genre comes in for me, but I think because I'm not as versed in all the genres, I would rather not judge a game based on that. You know, like I kind of want to try it. Like if the story is interesting enough to me, I'd rather just try it.
But like when looking at like Age of Empires or anything, have you ever been like, that does look interesting to me?
I mean, Age of Empires does look interesting to me because it's like, I don't know, it is a story. It's interesting. I think I'd be interested in a different RTS more.
Okay.
Like kind of the opposite to what you said. Like if it was skinned different, I might be like, ooh, elves, awesome. Like real history, kind of yucky. I don't really want to think about that. But if I'm doing like fantasy history, that might be more fun to do battles in. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to get you Warcraft 3.
I mean, I wanted to try Age of Empires.
Age of Mythology. You can play as the Greeks.
Ooh, Caesar.
You can.
Plebs are needed.
Completely. Those are Romans. Those are Romans.
Plebs are needed. That's all the game said. That's all I remember. We never had enough plebs, guys. We never had enough.
The StarCraft meme for that, because it said so long, is we require additional pylons.
Yep, that would be the same vibe.
We require additional pylons. Need more Vespine gas.
But to be fair, Caesar is a city builder, not a RTS. But yeah. That's us. Wow, we have totally different things to look at, but both love video games.
You don't even care about gameplay at all besides camera.
Okay, here's the thing. I do care about gameplay while I'm playing it, but it's not what it's for. And it's also like not what I look at when picking the game. Like
okay.
I jump into the gameplay. I'm picking based on other things.
It's number 4. It's number 4. All right, I've got a timer going. Do you know what that means?
Oh my gosh. It means it's the rapid fire round. That means that we have to generate 3 random words. We have to come up with a game idea based on those 3 words. And we only have 5 minutes to do that and come up with a name as well. And the words are going to be here now.
And the consequences of that, of us failing, are we just feel real sad.
We feel really sad and we'd rather not. So.
Yeah, so don't make us feel sad. Not that you, the listener, have anything to do.
Yeah, you have no control over this.
With anything.
At all. You have a lot to do with this podcast, but you don't have a lot to do with the rapid fire round.
Right. All right. I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Pure, lover, census. Yeah, that's what we got.
Okay. All right. Cupid.
Yes. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm in.
And you get census data. And that's how you find
single people?
Yeah.
Single households?
So it's a matchmaker. Like you are Cupid intercepting intercepting census data. You get to keep a stack of all the single people, and then when you have 2 that you think would make a good match, you get to match them together. You know, you basically have an inventory of all the single census data.
Yep.
But there's also a quota that you have to achieve. Cupid, is he Roman, Greek, Renaissance nonsense?
I think he's Roman.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm just assuming that there's like a Roman pantheon. So, like, Jupiter is like, Cupid, you got to get 50 couples this month.
Let's look how I spelled that real quick.
Chipbidriman. Okay. Anyways, so you've got to meet your quota, but you also have to make good matches. It's not like Love Potion, kind of like they fall for each other and they're like instantly together forever.
So you're looking at the census data to also help match, I would assume.
Yes. Yeah. No, the census isn't just like...
It's almost like a dating profile.
Exactly. You are using it as a dating profile.
I'm trying to think like what, like, I mean, I think we can add whatever census questions we want.
Right.
But already it would be like, are you single? Like that's on it. Location, probably you want to pick people who are close together.
Yeah.
Age is important. You know, you wouldn't want to match wildly varied ages. Job, they'll have occupation on there. They'll have income on there. So it is a pretty good way to match people.
Yeah. There's decent ways to do it.
This should be a real dating app. Census date.
Hey.
TM.
Actually, that's the name too. Census date.
Yeah, we got the name. Census date. All right, we do have to work pure into it. Kind of left that on the table.
So I was thinking pure. I kind of converted it into like true love, and that's like why
it's the purest love.
It's not automatic like Cupid love. You actually have to like create.
I'll give it
a true love situation.
Yeah.
So that's where I mentally went with that. So I think we're done.
Yeah, Cupid date.
2 minutes and 18 seconds left on the.
Oh no, census date, not Cupid date.
Census jeez. All right, I'm ready to start the next timer.
Okay, I'm ready to start the next words.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hard, piano, disagree.
Okay.
Pianos fall from the sky.
Yes. I don't know where hard gets into
They're
this.
hard.
But I'm going to go to No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right.
There is a settlement mini like system, and what that really amounts to is if you are a settlement overseer, every once in a while 2 people will come to your office, and one will be like, I want to build an ice cream store.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
And then the other one will be like, I want to ban dance. And then you have to pick which one is like the good one. Or sometimes one will be like, they stole my sandwich.
Ban dance. Ice cream store.
The one that's probably more relevant is when 2 people come and they have a dispute, and like one will accuse the other of something, and then that's all the evidence you get, and there's no actual right or wrong answer. And I don't actually know what the consequences are in game, but basically this entire game is that, only when you disagree with someone, instead of just saying he's right, you drop a piano on them.
Okay.
And they're gone. They're gone.
Okay.
And that's how you choose whether you want to ban
So is
dance
it like
or...
is it like a city builder? Like what?
Pretty much. Yes.
Okay.
So like, okay, Dan the engineer comes to your office and says, Ralph the social media content manager
of the town, yeah.
Of the town. Well, I'm thinking like he's like a TikTok guy, like it's just people in town, right? And Dan says Ralph stole my sandwich, and then you have to decide: do you drop the piano on Dan or Ralph?
And like, is there a consequence?
There is a consequence for that. Because engineers have certain skills and contributions to the town. This is a city builder. Ultimately, it's a city builder. But instead of like choosing zones and buildings and stuff, you are dropping pianos on people to determine how the town develops. Because
if you won me over. You got it.
If you drop pianos on all the scientists and stuff, and it just becomes a TikTok town.
I mean, that could be something.
That could be something, and you get to find out what that looks like via dropping pianos on people. Okay. I don't know where hard comes into it.
I mean, pianos are hard, and that's why they kill you. Or the decisions are hard.
I guess the decisions could be pretty hard, but...
Save Chloe, save Arcadia Bay.
Okay, wait, no. No, I don't know how we incorporate this exactly, but every once in a while, one or more people in the dispute have thought ahead, and they wear a hard hat to this little tribunal. And so...
Or maybe you can like distribute hard hats to your favorite town people.
That could be also a mechanic. And then like you have to decide like, okay, if I drop a piano on the hard hat guy, like it's not good. It's like symbolic, but it doesn't actually do anything. But I don't want to drop a piano on the other guy. But like the hard hat breaks after one use, right?
So yeah, there's a lot of
there's hard hat management going on.
We gotta name this game.
Go ahead.
Pianoforte, which technically means strong piano.
Wait, no, but piano fort, city fort, builder.
Piano fort.
Fortress piano.
Piano fortress.
Piano fortress. Piano. I mean, it's not really a fortress unless like this is also post-apocalyptic or something.
I don't know if I want to add any more elements to this. All right, piano, because I feel like it's got to have the piano. Piano judgment.
That's a little too on the nose.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then I like pianoforte because it's a joke on like the pianoforte is a musical phrase, and it also means strong.
Yeah, I will go with it because fort is enough related to forte / the fort pun is enough related to city builder. So I'm going to go with it. 28 seconds left. We barely got through that one.
Thank you for going with it. All right, are we ready for our final one of this episode?
Yes, I started the timer. I meant to count it down, but I accidentally
okay, well,
just
here
pressed
we go
start.
Then. Offense or offense?
Okay.
Could be either.
I take offense to
that. Snow. Fund. I mean, I love a winter setting in a game. And pretty much anything, actually.
Okay.
So, snow plowing. Snow offense. So, it's another city, like, management game. You're trying to make it so the snow doesn't touch the ground.
Okay. I have a slightly different direction for this.
That's fine. You go with that.
You are taking it to the snow. You aren't letting the snow.
Oh, okay.
You aren't waiting around for the snow to come
offense.
to you.
It's just even more.
You are so it's basically I'm specifically envisioning this as like as a more of a tower defense where you are building like missiles and flamethrowers to like shoot at snow clouds and snowflakes as they like fly over your town.
Okay. No, I like this. What about fund? Oh, I mean, I guess that would just be like you have to have the funds to like get the missiles and whatever.
And like the better that you prove that this system is, because everyone thinks you're ridiculous for even trying this, the more that they are willing to fund it as you prove that it works. But the more snow that accumulates in the town, they're like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. We're not, you'll lose your investors."
Since we learned what a tower defense game is last
Definitely
episode,
not a management game.
No, and I played
game.
the game. I played it. I get it now. So when you kill snowflakes, you get money. That's how it works.
Yes,
so that also helps. I like this. Okay, so now we have to name it.
Snow offense.
But it's like I think it's like snow big deal. Because snow offense, I don't think people are going to get it.
Technically, it would also be snow offense because it's not about
that's why I think snow big deal, stopping the snow, bombing the blizzard.
Bombin the Blizzard. That appeals to me. Yeah.
Bombin the Blizzard?
Bombin the Blizzard appeals to me with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Right. That's a rapid fire round.
You took it from the colon and just put it right in the shining
normally
lights.
We prefer a colon, but that part alone just stood out to me so much.
That's totally fine.
And if it spoke to you, you can contact us at
makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media at makethatgamepod, and you can visit us at makethatgame.com, the best website on the internet.
It's my day job.
And you can also find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/makethatgame. We will be streaming this month's stream on October 27th, which is a rare Sunday stream, so get excited for that.
Do we not normally stream on Sundays?
We usually stream on Saturdays.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll have a Saturday visitor that weekend, so we'll be streaming on Sunday.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I thought we always streamed on Sundays.
Nope. We usually stream on Saturdays.
Alrighty then.
I think we have streamed on a Sunday, but like again, mostly Saturdays. Anyway, you can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@makethatgame. We post a handful of the replays, but not all of them because we haven't posted them all yet. And some of them we forgot to record. So there's that.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's too late to get it. So
is it? Oh, man.
I think so. Well, we can check, but it was like, it's only 2 weeks.
More than 7 days ago.
Yeah. So what we're saying right now, folks, is that if you miss it, sometimes you'll never see it again. So you should be there at the live
You'll never
stream.
see me play No Man's Sky and do my cool punchy jetpack trick and die.
I had my silly glasses on, so
lost the time. Maybe that's for the best.
So anyway, that's a good place to find us. And if you heard something today that you want to make, we're not going to make it. So you got to get out there and make that game.